Welcome, dear viewers, to A1 Storyteller, where every story is a journey and every journey is a revelation. Today, we bring you a tale that will leave you questioning assumptions, challenging biases, and perhaps even redefining what it means to truly see someone. So, grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's dive into a story that's as gripping as it is thought-provoking. This is Employees. Accused black man of theft goes pale when he reveals his true identity. Let's begin. It was a crisp autumn morning in the bustling city of Crestwood. The streets were alive with the hum of commuters, the chatter of pedestrians, and the occasional honk of a car horn. Nestled between a cozy cafe and a vintage bookstore stood Elegance Emporium, a high-end retail store known for its luxurious clothing and accessories. The store was a favorite among the city's elite, and its employees prided themselves on providing impeccable service. Or so they claimed. Among the employees was Sarah, a sharp-tongued sales associate with a penchant for gossip, and Mark, a security guard who took his job a little too seriously. They were the self-proclaimed gatekeepers of Elegance Emporium, always on the lookout for suspicious characters. And on this particular day, their radar was set off by a man who didn't quite fit their idea of a typical customer. He was a tall, broad-shouldered black man in his mid-30s, dressed in a simple yet elegant outfit, a well-fitted navy blue blazer, dark jeans, and polished loafers. His demeanor was calm, his posture confident, and his eyes scanned the store with an air of quiet curiosity. To anyone else, he might have looked like a man browsing for a new suit or a gift for a loved one. But to Sarah and Mark, he was a red flag. "Did you see that guy?" Sarah whispered to Mark, her eyes darting toward the man. "He's been lingering near the watches for way too long. I bet he's up to something." Mark nodded, his hand instinctively resting on the walkie-talkie clipped to his belt. "I've got my eye on him. If he tries anything, I'll be ready." Unbeknownst to them, the man, whose name was Daniel, was indeed there for a reason, but it wasn't the one they assumed. Daniel was a successful entrepreneur and the founder of Urban Luxe, a rapidly growing fashion brand that had been making waves in the industry. He had come to Elegance Emporium not to shop, but to observe. As Daniel continued to browse, he couldn't help but notice the subtle yet unmistakable glances from the employees. He had experienced this kind of scrutiny before, and he knew exactly what it meant, but he chose to ignore it, focusing instead on the task at hand. Meanwhile, Sarah and Mark were growing more suspicious by the minute. When Daniel picked up a sleek silver watch and examined it closely, Sarah saw her opportunity. "Can I help you with anything, sir?" she asked, her eyes narrowing slightly. Daniel looked up, meeting her gaze with a calm, steady expression. "No, thank you. Just browsing." Sarah's smile tightened. "Of course. Just let me know if you need any assistance." She walked away, but her eyes never left him. A few minutes later, Daniel decided to leave. "Excuse me, sir," Mark said, his voice firm. "We need to check your bag." Daniel raised an eyebrow. "My bag? Why?" "We have reason to believe you may have taken something," Mark replied, his tone accusatory. Daniel's expression remained calm, but there was a flicker of something in his eyes. Disappointment, perhaps, or resignation. He handed over his bag without a word, and Mark began to search through it. Sarah watched from a distance, her arms crossed and a smug look on her face. But as Mark rummaged through the bag, his confidence began to waver. There was nothing there. No stolen watches, no hidden items, nothing. Just a leather-bound notebook, a pen, and a business card holder. Mark pulled out the card holder and flipped it open, his eyes widening as he read the name engraved on the card. Daniel Carter, CEO, Urban Luxe. Mark's face went pale. He looked up at Daniel, his mouth opening and closing like a fish out of water. You're Daniel Carter?" he stammered. Daniel nodded, his expression unreadable. "That's correct." Sarah, sensing something was wrong, hurried over. "What's going on?" she asked, her voice tinged with panic. Mark handed her the business card, his hands trembling slightly. Sarah's eyes scanned the card and her face turned ashen. "Oh my God," she whispered. "Mr. Carter, we had no idea." Daniel took his bag back, his movements slow and deliberate. "It's interesting," he said, his voice calm but laced with quiet authority. "You were so quick to assume the worst about me. Why is that?" Sarah and Mark exchanged uneasy glances, but neither could find the words to respond. Daniel didn't wait for an answer. He turned and walked out of the store, leaving the two employees in stunned silence. The incident at Elegance Emporium didn't stay quiet for long. Word spread quickly, and soon the story was the talk of the town. Daniel, true to his character, didn't seek revenge or make a public spectacle of the incident. Instead, he used it as an opportunity to spark a larger conversation about bias, assumptions, and the importance of treating everyone with respect. He wrote a powerful op-ed for a major publication, sharing his experience and calling for greater awareness and accountability. The piece resonated with countless readers, and it wasn't long before Elegance Emporium issued a public apology and implemented mandatory bias training for all employees. As for Sarah and Mark, the incident was a wake-up call. They realized the harm their actions had caused, and they committed to doing better. And there you have it, folks, a story that reminds us all to look beyond appearances and challenge our assumptions. If this tale moved you, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to A1 Storyteller for more gripping stories that inspire, challenge, and entertain. Until next time, remember, every person has a story, and every story deserves to be heard. This is A1 Storyteller. See you in the next story.